Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good evening to everybody out there in YouTube land. It is your boy Lewis coming back at you once again with another heavy hitter banger with yet another video. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Make sure the notifications are turned on. Make sure again that you guys are sharing this content through your social media outlets and especially on Reddit. I truly appreciate that. Let me know who is out there right now coming in live. We are talking about Kyrie Irving and Steven Jackson. I wanted to touch up on a couple of NBA topics where we're talking about with this whole crazy situation with social justice. Again, smash the like, hit that subscribe. Make sure you guys are sharing this on your social media outlets. Truly appreciate that. Let me know who is in the building and welcome everybody. And I want to get everybody's thoughts on this whole crazy situation. So I want everybody's voice to be heard, and definitely want to get everybody's thoughts on it in the chat, man. So we're definitely gonna talk about this. So let me know who's in the building. Again, hit that like, hit that subscribe, man, as you guys come in. If you guys haven't, make sure you guys are sharing this video. Let's see who we got in the building. Shout out to Jared, first one in the building. Appreciate it. Shout out to Bronco. What's good, bro? What's good? Appreciate Anthony L. Shout out to Ron. Appreciate you guys coming through, man. Let's try to get the likes up and let's get the views up, man. We got to talk about this with Steven Jackson and his support of Kyrie Irving. I'm going to get to the article, and then I want to talk about Kendrick Perkins, who had a little article back in February on what he said about Kyrie Irving when he first became vice president of the Players Association behind Chris Paul. So before we get on top of that, just give me 1 second, guys. Again, smash the like and hit the subscribe as you guys come in. They can't see me. That bit. All right, guys. So let me know who's in here, man. I know I just saw a couple of you. Shout out to Joel in the building. What's up, man? What's up? What's going on, guys? What is up, people? So real quickly, what is everybody's thoughts about the comments that Steven Jackson made about Kyrie Irving and his support in terms of the whole social justice issue ever since the death of George Floyd? I want to get your thoughts on it, and I want to get everybody's thoughts about the issue of canceling the season, um, and focusing on social justice compared to we should play basketball because we can probably be able to make social awareness along with playing basketball. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. As more people come in. And stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. I'm coming out with a second straight video. Going to be talking about the results of Backlash. That was the WWE pay-per-view. So if you guys are into wrestling, I will come back to back with the WWE Backlash results. I know that pay-per-view was on Sunday, and I was doing a live stream on Sunday, so that's the reason I couldn't do that. But I wanted to give my thoughts on the pay-per-view and the matches. So make sure you guys pull up for that. But like I said, man, what do you guys think about this whole crazy situation and Steven Jackson's support on on Kyrie Irving and what he said? And for those who don't really know, I'll fill you in. What's been going on. Obviously with everything that's been going on and how we've been in quarantine. But we'll definitely love to get your guys' thoughts on this whole crazy situation. Then I'm gonna get on Kendrick Perkins because I already did get on Kendrick Perkins in my latest video. And if you guys have not checked that video out, I know Anthony L did, and I know Ron did. So shout out to both of you guys for checking out the video, and make sure you guys were able to comment on it. But for those who have not checked that out yet, here's what you guys have got to do. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure that I go to my channel, and I make sure that, where is it? Where is it? There it is. There is my main man, Bill Russell, right there with LeBron James. And what we're going to do is I'm going to make sure to share this. So if you guys haven't, smash the like and hit that on the video. Perfect. Perfect. And I'm going to share this. Okay. So before I start reading the article, let me just see what people are saying in the comments section. Shout out to Jay in the building. He says, "What's good, everybody? What's good, Jay? Appreciate you coming through." Steven Jackson's a real one, and shout out to Dwight Howard for going back to Atlanta and supporting the family of Rashard Brooks. For those who don't know, Dwight was born and raised in Atlanta. So, you know, he does know he supports the family of Rashard Brooks, and rest in peace to Rashard Brooks. So Dwight does know people down there, and you know, and shout out to Dwight for showing support. Shout out to him for showing support. Now, let me get to the article before I get back into the comment section. So this is what Stephen Jackson said, which Matt Barnes ended up criticizing Kyrie and his motives. And so Stephen Jackson basically said that so Stephen Jackson had told Matt Barnes, former NBA player, that Kyrie Irving has been calling him nearly every day and pouring out his emotions. So it says former Cleveland Cavaliers star Kyrie Irving may be a polarizing figure, but his genuine side has been coming out lately, according to former NBA star Stephen Jackson. And like I just said, man, in the video, it says he's been calling and he's been crying like every single day. Now, I know some people are going to feel different because some people think that there's some kind of motive going on. There might be a conflict of interest that him and LeBron may have. Like, who knows what's really going on? But this is what he said. Stephen Jackson says, in the first press conference I had, he had been calling me damn near every day on FaceTime, Jackson said about Irving. He's been passionate about this, and by the conversation he had, I just think he understands this moment. He's just like me. I don't have all the answers, and he's speaking off of heart. He's speaking off passion because I ain't said this on no interview. He's been calling me crying because he literally knows that I'm putting everything on the line. So it says Jackson, who had a successful 14-year NBA career, was a friend of George Floyd, for those who know. African-American man who was murdered by Minnesota police officer last month. It sparked countless protests across the nation, as well as groundswell movement to reform, police departments and undo centuries of systemic racism. Now, going back into the comments section, shout out to Ultimate Champ. Appreciate that. Jay says Kyrie is kind of like the Kanye of the NBA. A lot of people have been saying that. That's the crazy part. A lot of people have been saying Kyrie's like the Kanye of the league. So it says for that reason, Irving and a few other players are leaning towards not returning to play when the NBA season resumes on July 30th. Their argument is that resuming play will divert attention away from the fight for social justice, a sentiment that Jackson agrees with. However, Irving's former teammate LeBron James, who's been vocal with his activism on this same issue, is very eager to return to the hardwood. So then now, so he's already, to be honest with you, low key, it's like I'm very iffy on Kyrie, to be honest with you. And I'm not saying Kyrie's not a good dude. He talked about starting his own league. And listen, I know people are gonna go back and forth in the comment section, honestly. And you know, I'm all for the conversation as long as we keep it respectful here on the Lewis Sports Network. But it's a little bit strange for me where Kyrie's coming from, just for the fact that they had just voted for the players to come back, you know, to restart the season. Um, and Kyrie was all for it. The thing is also, though, I know that the media has also kind of used that to twist his words, because you have to also look at it from this aspect, ladies and gentlemen. The media does not like Kyrie. I know Max Kellerman doesn't like Kyrie. Kendrick Perkins doesn't like Kyrie. And the funny thing was, Kendrick Perkins was a former teammate of Kyrie Irving. So he wasn't just LeBron's teammate. He was Kyrie Irving's teammate too. And shout out to Ultimate Champ. You know, he said Kyrie is his favorite player. That's cool. That's what's up. Um, so Stephen Jackson, he's like, you know, he's praising Kyrie's sentiments because he's talking about how much Kyrie sacrifices. Well, this is according to Stephen Jackson. Now, before I get back to Stephen Jackson, let me go to the next person. This man, Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins has come out and he doesn't like the fact that Kyrie is causing a distraction himself. He thinks Kyrie is doing a distraction, according to Kendrick Perkins. So it says that Kendrick Perkins dares Kyrie Irving to retire from the NBA and dedicate his life to social justice. What do people think about that? That Kendrick Perkins says that he dares Kyrie to retire and dedicate his life to social justice. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section before I kind of down deep, you know, in this matter. You know, because it's connected to Stephen Jackson, Matt Barnes, LeBron, Kendrick, and then I'm going to bring in Bill Russell. So I'm actually going to kind of mix up, you know, this live stream a little bit. So let me know what you guys think. Let me get back to that one because that was the one I actually picked. There you go. Jay says that these players are making so much money they could really start their own league. Kendrick is talking a lot though. Kyrie got salty because he wasn't able to go to Orlando. Hmm. I mean, the thing is, Kyrie still can, but it's just he's not going because, oh, for sure he's a puppet. We know this for sure. My thing with Kendrick Perkins is he's doing a lot of talking and he's doing a lot of bug dancing. Here's my thing with the NBA players. If they really want to make a change, then the money that you guys have invested, the money that you guys have gathered together, you guys can really make this change because you guys actually have the resources. And if you guys have the funding for it, I really definitely think that you guys can make a change. So let me get to Anthony L's comment for a second. He wants me to hear him out. Of course. Hear me out for a sec. It's not a good idea for the league to return. There have been new cases. Right. You know what's so funny about that? You know what's so funny about that? I was watching I was watching the WWE, right? And they're performing right now in the Performance Center in Orlando. The superstars that are performing in there, some of them have, some of them are sick now. They have the cases of them. So now some of them have them. And so that's the danger. You're absolutely right, Ultimate Champ. That's the danger of going because the thing is Kendrick is saying that Adam Silver, you can trust Adam Silver, but it's like the question is how are these guys going to be quarantined now? Because I wonder in what way are they going to be able to really because then now you have to think are they going to be able to get another location if that doesn't work out? Because like I said, I was watching the WWE and I said that when you look at the Performance Center in Florida, a lot of the wrestlers now have it. And Jay says LeBron is almost a billionaire. They can get the funding. And yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing with LeBron James, though. He would probably be for it after the season. Shout out to Karam in the building. He would probably be for it. He would be for this after the season, not right now. And why not right now? Because the championship is at stake. A championship is at stake. That's the reason why he wouldn't do it. Richard says he would love to see a black-owned league, and I said, listen, if Kyrie is for this and they really want to do this, you're really gonna have to really convert your money because think about it, you guys would own your own league. There's really no white supremacy. You could probably get black ownership. That'd be a first, and then more people would be invested in watching you guys play. It's true. That's my thing with Kyrie. My Thunder looking for a new name of their arena. Interesting. I wonder what their new name is. I hope it's pretty cool. Um, the thing about Kyrie at this point, he comes off as a strange dude. Yeah, so sometimes it's kind of hard to say what's really up with him. See, that's the thing because you know why the reason that I say that this is very strange on Kyrie's part. I'm not saying that Kyrie doesn't have a point. He does, and I understand why also LeBron would want to restart the season. But this is the thing. Do y'all remember the Donald Sterling situation a few years ago? Do people remember that? Shout out to Low Key in the building. Appreciate that. It was at the Orlando International Airport, popped up with new, yeah, not a good idea. Just, hey, man, I would say that. And the thing is also what we need to also understand is that even if they do that, I think the key thing for this to really be pushed, it's going to have to be the superstars that are going to have to push for this. You're talking about players like Steph Curry, players like LeBron, like players like Kevin Durant. If those guys speak out and say they want to own their own league, then the players could fund the money together and they could probably start their own league. Now it's going to probably take a little bit of time to build an arena. They're going to have to get if they're going to really own their own league, then they're going to have to really think like first of all for all these arenas to be built, it's really going to have to take funding, man. And They're really gonna have to get the sponsors, yo. And shout out to Low Key T, man. And if y'all haven't, make sure y'all go subscribe to Low Key T's channel. If you guys haven't, the brother is close to getting 1,000 subs. If you guys can help, go show him support and go subscribe to his channel. I will truly appreciate that. Yeah, no, I agree with you, man. They would really have to get sponsors to promote that brand. I really think so. Uh, Ultimate Champ says if no superstars join, then they won't get many views. See, that's going to be the key. If the superstars are all for starting a new league, then they'll do it. Which would not sit well with the owners because then the owners, low key, they're not going to be happy about this. And something tells me that they're going to want a piece of the pie. Think of the agents. Think of the agents. Players that have agents represent them. All of this comes into a factor. I wonder and now you have to wonder what's going to happen to all those employees. Are they going to be able to come and work for this new league? I wonder. Man, they would blow up in the league, and I could imagine Diddy, Jay-Z, and other celebrities jumping into ownership. They don't need those owners, man. They are the business. Because remember, Diddy is rich, so is Jay-Z. Yeah, I'm a little suspect on Jay-Z though, man. I mean, low key, that's the story dominating right now, man. Did not know about that. Did not know about that. Yeah, at the end of the day, because I look at it this way, because people need to understand something. Both of these dudes, Kyrie and LeBron, they're Nike athletes. Keyword, Nike athletes. They're assets, man. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at this. I'm gonna have to really see what the intentions are of Kyrie Irving. I'm not saying that he doesn't speak truth because he does speak truth, but I'm just wondering what his motives are, especially the fact that now he kind of came with this, considering that LeBron says that he doesn't want the season to be canceled. Anthony L says, I think Kyrie has great intentions, but he needs to take more time to see. That's my thing with Kyrie. You just can't come out and say stuff like that. Are you really going to have a plan? Because to some degree, I'm gonna have to agree with Kendrick Perkins to a certain degree. If he's really about that, then he's really gonna have to sacrifice. And then if he does that, he's gonna be a lot more respected. Now, there's some people who are still gonna hate him regardless. And remember, Kyrie is hated by the media because remember, he was LeBron's teammate. Kendrick Perkins also played with Kyrie and LeBron. So that's why Kyrie is going to get a lot of flack. A lot of LeBron fans do not like him for how he left Cleveland. And remember, at the end of the day, they're going to continue to say Kyrie was absolutely, positively nothing until LeBron arrived. They're always going to hold that over Kyrie's head, no matter what. It doesn't matter. Kyrie, he hit the biggest shot in Cleveland history, but Kyrie couldn't have done that if it wasn't for LeBron's block. It doesn't matter what people say, what people want to say about Kyrie. It's always going to be like that with him, no matter what. It's just gonna be like that. Yes, I do. Donald Sterling believed he was. Yeah, man. No offense, because not every owner is like that. But these men, they are sweetening and creating the entertainment should be profiting. That's the problem with a lot of these owners, which is why I find also Mark Cuban very fishy, which is why he wanted to do it. The thing is, these owners want entertainment. Stephen A. came out and even said that he's talking about how I love that brother Stephen Jackson, and I understand what Kyrie's trying to say, and to a certain degree, some of the points that Stephen A was making, it's true, but at the same time, he came back to the money. When you say money, that just tells me that Stephen A is about the dollar bills, y'all. He's about the money. So when we get back to the Donald Sterling thing, a lot of players really didn't speak out, but the Clippers, when we're talking about Blake Griffin and Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan, Doc Rivers, a lot of players really didn't speak out on that. Kyrie Irving was one of those people that didn't speak out when the Donald Sterling situation happened. That's why I said that as much as as much as what he's saying is true, I just find it a little bit funny. So I have to see what his motives are. If he's able to do it, it's cool. I just don't like how Perkins and Stephen A. Smith carrying the crabs in the barrel mentality and attacking Kyrie because he wants to stand up for what's right. The issue that I have with Perkins and Stephen A. is why aren't you guys in the front lines doing for your causes since you guys have so much clout? Did y'all forget who y'all work for? Funny how they have a platform to speak but they're not really doing anything. So you could criticize Kyrie all you want, but my question is, what are you guys doing? Yeah, it's true, man. I kind of wonder that, man. I kind of wonder that. I remember he said he was going to re-sign with Boston, but left. To be honest with you, Kyrie really had to play to the crowd because he didn't want to be there in the first place, Ultimate Champ. Like to be really honest, Kyrie to me would have. He's another person that to me kind of goes with the narrative. Let's say that the Boston Celtics win a championship. I doubt Kyrie would have left, or maybe he would have. Who knows? He made it. He might have, but he didn't. I remember that KD and Perk had beef on Twitter during Russ standing ovation. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that in a second. Kyrie and LeBron both benefited off each other. Jay, you're speaking big facts, and I've been saying that often, but people keep saying that LeBron is fortunate that LeBron would be nothing without Kyrie. Those are the people that are biased. Then I hear people will say that Kyrie didn't benefit without LeBron, and I keep saying it's a mutual partnership. It's a mutual partnership. Kyrie would not have had an NBA championship had he not played with LeBron, and LeBron would have not had an NBA championship had Kyrie not played as well as he did. It's a mutual partnership. The problem with the media is they continue to try to do this divide and conquer, and Anthony L is right with this whole carrying crabs mentality. It's true. It's the truth. Ron says Nike athletes have to go with whatever Nike is down with, agenda or whatever, and that's the bottom line. Facts. That's facts. I mean, look at the Kyrie shoes. Listen, man, I have a pair of Kyrie threes that he wore in the 2016 NBA Finals. My favorite shoe. It's all white and it's got a gold swoosh. It's a beautiful looking shoe. I love the traction. I love the herringbone traction on that shoe. I love it. Like it's one of my favorite shoes. But at the same time, these guys are Nike athletes at the end of the day. That's what people need to understand. Nike is going to support and they're going to benefit of what the NBA is promoting. As long as these players speak out. I mean, just look what Kyrie's wearing right there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the Brooklyn Nets. Nike check. Look what Kyrie's got on his headband. Nike check. As long as these guys speak out, they're going to be supported unless it affects their pockets. Not only their pockets, but their sponsors' pockets. And if it affects their sponsors' pockets, are you think these guys are going to talk? And Kendrick Perkins is talking all this garbage, but he's on a platform himself. So what are you talking about, Perk? What are you talking about? Aren't you the same dude? You know what's really funny? Kendrick Perkins is talking about people like Michael Jordan is nothing but a snitch. But he came out on the network. You guys know that famous four-letter word. He talked about the beef that Paul Pierce had with LeBron James. He talked about the beef that Ray Allen had with Rajon Rondo and that he wanted to get CP3. You know what that network did today, ladies and gentlemen? They came out with a video behind the Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo beef over a potential Chris Paul trade. But yet Kendrick Perkins out here is supposed to be acting like a true Boston Celtic. And I'm going to get to him and Bill Russell in a few. Shout out to Ryan in the building. Let me see. Absolutely. Absolutely. You guys are making great points in the chat. Exactly. Stephen A needs the game. And he also needs the game for him to talk and sound so articulate like the great black brother that he is. But you know, they're another word. Both Perk and Stephen A. I like Stephen A, but he could be, oh no, 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 no. The funny thing is, I used to like Stephen A with how entertaining he would be when he would talk. But the more I watch him, the more I realize that Stephen A is just nothing but a leech. He's a leech. That's what he is. When it's convenient for Stephen A, he'll come to the storyline. But if it ain't benefiting him, he will attack these same so-called black brothers that are supposed to quote unquote, that he quote unquote supports. Does he remember last year that he criticized LeBron every single turn all last year? But all of a sudden he wants to get on LeBron's good side and kiss his backside. All of a sudden, he called out LeBron when LeBron didn't give him attention, when LeBron was training in the Lakers facility. And that was the story that Dave McMenamin put out. And and Stephen A. in front of a packed crowd. I forgot where they were at. And he was sitting next to Max Kellerman and Molly. And he called out and he said, "Why doesn't LeBron come on the show? Why doesn't he come on the show?" Did LeBron give him that answer? No. But yet this season, Anthony Davis is on the Lakers. Stephen A. kissing LeBron behind. These were the same folks in the media that blasted Laura Ingraham for telling LeBron to shut up and dribble, but that same media that blasted Laura Ingraham is now attacking Kyrie for voicing his mind. Very interesting. And the way I see it is, which agenda is going to stand out more? This is how I look at it. Sorry, but I can't. But I came to realize that they are all on the same page. Even Kyrie. He's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. They love crushing Kyrie and they put him on the spot in front of thousands in Boston, man. That's wrong. The media loves doing this to Kyrie Irving, man. And listen, man, I'm not saying that Kyrie's not a weird dude. Sometimes I kind of question his motives and some of the way of his thinking with his personality, because he can be a diva. So I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But it's true. But this is why people need to fall in line with the pattern. What? And look at Kendrick Perkins' history. If you look at Kendrick Perkins' history, he says that James Harden is better than Steph Curry when that's not true. And the reason it's not true is because, number one, he had beef with Steph Curry in the 2018 NBA Finals. Number two, he was a former teammate of LeBron for 4 years. You know, the same Kendrick Perkins that averaged 80 claps a game off the bench, being LeBron's personal bouncer, right? Also, he was a former teammate of James Harden. So you don't and when you line up all those patterns, why do you think that Kendrick Perkins caps for LeBron so much and disrespects the other players? He's disrespected Kawhi Leonard, even though he's talking about that Kawhi Leonard's number two. He has disrespected Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's disrespected Kevin Durant, the same Kevin Durant that just called him a sellout not too long ago, a couple of hours ago. I'm gonna get to that in a second too. Shout out to Ryan in the building. Hey chat. Jay says this is why I don't listen to the media, because the majority of the time they give false narratives. It's too much hypocrisy with the media, man. LeBron got these dudes sitting up here like the ventriloquist dummies. And he got a string on all of them, and he's sitting back laughing behind the scenes. This is why Kendrick Perkins is such a fool. Do you really think that LeBron gives a damn about you, Perk? All he got to do is pull the string, gives you your little voice box on what to say on that platform, and guess what? You did such a great job. I'm gonna give you a check. No, he said it was his intention to re-sign. No, I remember. No, Raduni, you're absolutely right. No, I remember that. I remember that. But what I was telling you is that he did not want to be there originally. He didn't want to be there because if you guys remember, Kyrie's original destination in terms of teams he wanted to go to, when he was fed up with the Cleveland front office and fed up with LeBron and wanted to leave because of the trade rumors, the Boston Celtics were not on his list. The thing was, new GM Kobe Altman decided to trade him over there, trade him to Boston. And that was all Dan Gilbert's work, because Kyrie also didn't get along with Dan Gilbert neither. So that's another thing. Nathaniel says, shout out to Nathaniel. Dang, I missed him a lot. Dang, man. My stream has been going on for almost half an hour, Ryan. Shout out to you, though. All right, shout out to Nathaniel. No, it's all good, man. Kendrick Perkins is a snitch, man. I told you, he's the snitch that keeps on snitching, but he talking about Michael Jordan, though. He talking about Mike. I agree with that, man. Perk said that LeBron isn't a. He said that? Perk said that? I mean, I've heard Perk call LeBron the GOAT. LeBron want to play like an innocent angel on Twitter, but come on, we not dumb. We know he's well, the ones who know are not dumb. We know he's sending these guys to do his dirty work for him. He's doing with Draymond, Channing Frye, and Richard Jefferson, which is why Draymond's another hypocrite, though. Tomoko says, eighth wonder in the world, eighth like. Kyrie was never going back to the Celtics. That's what I'm saying. Anything positive he said about Ainge and the Celtics was just talk. It's true. He did not want to be there. That's the thing. He never was going to re-sign with Boston. He never wanted to be in Boston. Exactly, Jay. That's what I was trying to tell Ultimate Champ. That Kyrie played there, but he had to play to the narrative. Boston was not one of the teams he wanted to be with in the first place. Kendrick is the biggest clown. Yep. Shout out to Jay in the building, man. Appreciate you. Nike. Oh, it's always about the company line. You already know. You already know. Stephen A. Smith is just like T.I., using them big words, but really be talking in circles, just like the. Yo, Jay, you funny, bro. You funny. I don't mess with Perk ever since he blasted KD. Yeah, because you know what my thing is, man. Again, guys, smash the like, hit that subscribe, and make sure you guys are sharing this on your social media outlets. You know what my thing. You know what my thing is. He talked so high of KD at one time, but ever since KD's gone up against LeBron, and people forget, like I said, Perk was a teammate of LeBron for 4 years. Kevin Durant won back-to-back Finals MVPs with the Golden State Warriors. And that's the thing. He's blasted Kevin Durant. What did he tell Kevin Durant? Oh, Kevin Durant, you know, you weren't nothing and you didn't do squat against the Memphis Grizzlies, and Tony Allen shut you down in the 2013 semifinals when Russell Westbrook got injured, when Patrick Beverly ended up clipping him, trying to steal the ball, playing too aggressive. A timeout was called and Russell tore his meniscus. He said Kevin Durant didn't do anything. He got locked up. You know what Kevin Durant's response was? He said, "This is coming from a guy who averaged 2 points and 3 rebounds against Memphis." That's big talk. That's big talk. It's low key. I remember you mentioned that, man. Stephen A. killed KD for going to the Warriors, but he wants Greek Freak to be in Dub Nation. That's why I'm saying that Stephen A's a hypocrite. How is it that you're killing KD for going to Golden State, but then you can't keep that same energy, and then you want Greek Freak to go to Dub Nation? Like, Stephen A., get the heck out, get the hell out of here, man. No, man, they all playing with us, man. It's not the league who is going to distract us with all the stuff going on. But all this is false debate of the season. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this is all drama, to be honest. It's all drama. It's all drama. Right now, Kendrick Perkins is looking worse than Shannon Sharp right now. I thought Shay Sharp was the worst, but right now Perkins is taking the cake. He buck dancing hard for LeBron. You know what's funny? Shannon Sharp actually gave some positive sentiments towards Kyrie Irving. Now he said a little bit of you know kind of backtracked a little bit on some of the things, but for the most part, he was actually understanding where Kyrie was coming from. And Shannon and Skip were actually much more objective in their stance on what Kyrie was looking for in the league. Like I said, everybody is going to think different about this situation. Again, I get all that, but what I was saying is, from what they were saying, they were actually speaking from a more objective standpoint. But Kendrick Perkins, man. Kendrick Perkins, man. He's saying I'm definitely gonna get 1K before me, man, but you deserve it. Nah, man, you deserve it just as much more, low key. I mean, you've been putting out some great content out there, man. I apologize for not being there enough. I'm just working, doing the grind. I know you're doing the same thing, but again, man, make sure y'all go subscribe to Low Key T, man. I told you the man produces great content. Great content. Has you laughing like a fool out there with the stuff he be saying. But I mean, my man is lit. He a real one. Salute one. Salute to you, my brother. Again, these are the kind of people that we need to be uplifting. And I said this before, that we need to be uplifting one another. Because I'm telling you, the media ain't gonna do that for us, man. What they want you to be entertained. What they want you to do is they want you to be hypnotized. He says you do realize, man, that ex-Celtics champ players except Rondo and Ray always have something to say. No, I do realize that. I do realize it because I said that anytime that these guys have talked, I know Paul Pierce has had some things to say. I know Kevin Garnett has had some things to say. But notice that Kendrick Perkins has taken the cake for all of them because he called out his boy Paul Pierce on LeBron. But he's supposed to be a Boston Celtic. And I said that, did y'all notice that Ray Allen and Rajon Rondo, they never speak all this clout about the one championship that Boston won? It's KG, it's Paul Pierce, and it's Kendrick Perkins, especially Perk, especially Perk. So no, I do realize that. I do realize it. But the two dudes who had beef have been quiet. Ray Allen didn't even respond to what Kendrick Perkins has said. He stood quiet. He just came out with a video doing his kids, being a barber and cutting his kid's hair, giving him some low top fades and stuff. Ray Allen not even paying attention to that. Again, shout out to everybody in the chat. G Money GA going west helps everybody in the East, especially y'all Knicks. Hmm. Dudes ain't think about that. That's good. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a real good point. Again, guys, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button, man, for your boy. Make sure y'all share this on your social media. AKA, pass me the money. What's good, boy? Shout out to Nate, dog. Ron says the reason the sports media doesn't like Kyrie is because he won't say what they want him to say or respond the way they want him to. That's the point. My man, ladies and gentlemen, Ron Cowan hit the nail on the head. That's the thing. Kyrie is not one of those people that succumb to the media, aka a la Kobe, which is why the media could not stand him neither. And it's funny that when he passed away, a lot of women who were in support were saying how Kobe was a lot for the women's movement, you know. But like I said, man, I told you there's a lot of fake love out here, a lot of fake love, and it'd be the same dudes. Some of these black men who are sellouts, these dudes who are sellouts out here, talking about, oh, my brothers, man, I appreciate you, my brother, for what you're doing. And and you know what's crazy? Didn't Kendrick Perkins just praise Jaylen Brown for driving 15 miles from Boston to go all the way down to Atlanta for the protest? I just remember that. You know, Malcolm Brogdon got the same thing. It's funny how some of look, Isaiah Thomas, OG, the legend Isaiah Thomas gave Jaylen Brown a lot of props. Magic Johnson did. So two Hall of Fame point guard legends gave Jaylen Brown a lot of respect. I wonder why Jaylen Brown didn't get more love. But you know, the network, they decided to feature him. All right, appreciate that, Ultimate man. Appreciate you, man. Peace. Um, Players can't be bums that play in the NBA. There are other players that should be in the NBA. NBA and bums just doesn't go together. Which is a fair point, which is fair. Appreciate that, Jay. Appreciate that, my man. Uh, Tomoko with the random comments, always appreciate it. Ninjas got balls of steel because their weapon, the Kusarigama, is a scythe, sharp, with a chain ball attached at the bottom. Technically, it's iron, but they can make it from steel. Interesting. I didn't give KD credit for his chips when he was with the Warriors, man. That was a snake move. I mean, it really was. But it's like, can KD just focus on ball, not go and have drama on Twitter? I mean, we could, man. It's crazy. Um, any questions you guys have for me on this situation, and I'll be more than glad to answer it. Perkins is whack, man. I wish they would have just taken him off TV. And Shannon passes that LeBron go too much. Need to have balanced content, not just the same junk over and over. It's crazy, but you know what's crazy, Richard? They're just going to keep pushing the content no matter what because they know that people are going to watch. Because when you look at the personalities, it's like because Shannon is an entertaining personality, they're going to keep watching him because he just never sounds boring. It doesn't matter how much you deliver. It doesn't matter how much you deliver the message. The fact that he's entertaining and will buck dance, you know, to defend an argument, his own argument, people are going to watch it regardless. They're going to watch it. At this rate, Big Perk is going to go with the Ryan Hollins Award. Yo, they made that award. Yeah, they really made that award. Funny, man. It's crazy. Um, KG be talking like the Celtics won 4 or 5 championships. Your boy KG, man, talking him and Paul Pierce and Kendrick Perkins. They talk like it was a Celtics dynasty from 2008 to 2008. Like, really? Miss me with that, man. But you speaking facts, Jay. Always talking like they won some 4 championships in 5 years, or 4 championships in 6, or they won 2 titles in 3 years, 3 and 4. Like, y'all won 1 championship. Like, relax. Anthony L says, Lewis, what do you think about Avery Bradley speaking out and telling the NBA that they have a responsibility to the black community since 90% of the league are made up of black men? Actually, the crazy part is that the fact that Avery Bradley and Dwight Howard, and that's a good question, Anthony, the fact that Avery Bradley and Dwight Howard, 2 of LeBron's teammates on the Lakers, spoke out on this. But I heard what some people were saying. They're like, well, Avery Bradley and Dwight, they're like, well, if you look at Dwight, Dwight knows people in Atlanta. So, he was going to support the people that are close to Rashard Brooks, right? And again, rest in peace to Rashard Brooks. And Avery Bradley is a friend of Kyrie. So that's the way that certain people look at it. That's why they're kind of speaking out. But the thing is, you have to also have to all your, excuse me, this is what you also have to ask yourself this question, ladies and gentlemen. The thing is, why wasn't there a poll for other NBA players to vote on this matter? And remember, people were saying also, why didn't Chris Paul speak out on this? And he's the president of the Players Association. Some people were thinking that Chris Paul had a conflict of interest with LeBron James. These are reports that they were saying. And Kyrie Irving, people came to Kyrie Irving is what people were saying. So they were saying that, oh, well, you know what? We feel like our voices weren't being heard. The thing is, I'm asking myself, which agenda is being pushed more, as in to say, who's trying to get the most clout? And remember what Kyrie and LeBron are, Nike assets. So these dudes, as long as they talk and as long as they got the platform to support, Nike's looking at this saying, man, we could profit from this. The more drama we bring into the more drama the NBA has, the more these players that speak out. I mean, like I said, these guys profit off of this whole movement, all these protests, man. And so yeah, Avery Bradley and Dwight Howard, the fact that they were speaking out, I mean, again, kudos to them. You know, it lets you know that even people on LeBron's old team were trying to speak out. But you know, I was hearing some dudes like on some YouTube videos in the comments, they were like, "Oh, LeBron about to finna get Dwight Howard and Avery Bradley traded," and it's like, well, Dwight Howard's on a 1 year deal, so you really can't trade him. But it's like, don't say let him go. But that's what people were saying. Um, Kobe did help promote women's basketball. There were things that Kobe was trying to do, but he, you know, the funny thing is when he passed away was when a lot of people were starting to show some like behind the scenes stuff that Kobe was doing. And people kept saying like, well, why wasn't this shown when he was alive? So the majority of these black players come from the same impoverished communities that are suffering right now. The black players are the ones making them all this money. This is why I said that if you guys really want to make a statement, see, because Kendrick Perkins is he's just one of those is like, as long as Kyrie like gets away from basketball, it's one less person that LeBron would have to deal with. That's the way Kendrick Perkins is looking at it, right? So then if Kyrie was away, Kendrick Perkins can come back and say, man, if Kyrie was still in the league, you know, if he would match up with LeBron, LeBron would give him the business. That's the thing that these guys do. They wish for something to happen to these players so that it gives them it gives them more clout, more platform for these dudes to talk, so that they can make a lot of claims like, oh, if this person was so and so here, and if this person was not here, it's all strategy, guys. It's all strategy. Kendrick Perkins is all about the divide and conquer. That's what a lot of these media heads are. That's why people like KD, Kawhi, Giannis, you know, Kyrie Irving, that's why they all get disrespected. And like I said, I'm gonna get to Bill Russell in a moment, man. Drafted by Jordan, mind you, too. That's a good point, low key. If we're not gonna count KD's rings, are we really gonna count LeBron's? But you know what? Again, people are gonna say, "Oh, LeBron didn't do what Kevin Durant did. He joined a super team. He joined the greatest team ever assembled." You know, that's what they're gonna say. Man, if we are being real, KD deserves the props. He played big time. Yes, he left for the Warriors, but in reality, the team is no more stacked than the Showtime Lakers. I mean, to be honest, man, if you look at those Laker teams of the 80s, bro, they had a plethora of good to great players. Excuse me. I believe that the majority of the playing in the U.S. excuse me, will day in and day out make fewer mistakes in governing themselves. Right. Nice quote to Malcolm. Haha, just got wind of this recent news, man, that Dwight just exposed. Really? Really? Ron, can you tell me a little bit more about that? Please tell me more. I would love to know. Kwame Brown was highly regarded out of high school. That's true. It doesn't always work. College may not have not worked either. Phil traded for Kwame. He was on the radar of at least a few. Bum doesn't work either. To be honest, you know, the funny thing is, Jay, when it has come to players like LeBron, and I feel what you're saying when it comes to that whole bum thing. But the problem is that a lot of people who support LeBron, especially the fanboys, they've always said that LeBron has played with nothing but bums. And I said, they're NBA players. I mean, even in 2018, when, you know, obviously what happened, you know, that last season, they were saying, um, what they were saying was is that yo, LeBron had no help. He played with a bunch of bums. Steph Curry called out the media for that, and he said that those guys are NBA players, or else how would they be bums, right? I mean, you look at a guy like Ryan Hollins. A lot of people are calling him a bum. A lot, and the reason that the thing is, Jay, a lot of people call these guys that is because not only is it because of their NBA career, but it's what they talk about to the media or their opinion on something. And if they don't agree with it, they get called that. That's the way it works. That's why. Raduni says because we as a black man only care about money, and that's why we don't go anywhere. That's a very good point because that's a really good point because you got to understand something. If and when I say this, we're not even thinking about the human aspect of it. It's not even about humanity. It's not about human beings. It's about money. You listen to Stephen A. what he said earlier. Money. He's talking about this racism and all this kind of stuff, but he goes back to money. That's what he says. He talks about money. Um, the thing is, this is the rich. These are the rich liberals, man. That's the problem. These are the rich liberals. KD ruined he says LeBron's legacy by joining the Warriors because if KD never would have joined the Warriors, then LeBron would have had a three-peat. I keep saying that because the thing is that you have to understand that KD did make an impact and change that because I said that I don't feel that the Warriors would have beaten the Cavs. I don't think so because again, he had that psychological advantage after what happened in the 2016 NBA Finals. I said I felt like LeBron would have repeated or maybe won. He would have either repeated or he would have won a three-peat or he would have three-peated. And then if you change all that, LeBron is a five-time NBA champion. That puts him with the same rings of a lot of, good to great players, right? Then if you look at his NBA Finals record, at the time before he won his third ring, LeBron was 2-4. So he goes 3-4. Then if you add the fact that he wins three more championships, guess what? LeBron has the same record as Magic Johnson. So that changes. So that's why Kevin Durant going to Golden State changed everything. It changed everything, despite the fact losing seven players off their roster just to get him. I'm going to say that again. Despite losing seven players off their roster just to get him. That's not the same 73-win team. But I will say he joined a prime Steph and a prime Clay and a prime Draymond Green. I'm sitting here and saying that. You're hearing it from the Lewis Sports Network. But again, you got to talk about the other stuff that happened. Seven players were gone. They were not as deep. Kerr had to mix in the lineups and leave a starter with the second unit. Fortunately, it worked, and the league had not caught up to Golden State at that point, even though they were starting to. Okay, as when it says 80s Lakers wipe the Warriors. Jay, you're right, man. KD did destroy his legacy. Kwame has small hands. Let's see. I was just in tickets live stream, and he was talking about Dwight exposing CP3 and LeBron. Wow. Okay. Really? I mean, look at the next year, 61-21. I just can't see that as bums, man. That to me is crazy. A new players league needs to have less rules to get in. True. Parents sign contracts for underage players. These park kids need a real opportunity, and lowering the age factor will go a long way. Interesting. Also, what would be interesting too is that they could implement their own rules. This would not. This the funny thing is that would be a fear for the NBA. If these guys were to start their own league, that would be a fear for the NBA because they don't have enough talent to replace that. Which is why I also wish that the NBA had did a better job to market their players because they have a pool of talent. The other thing we have to be honest about is that OKC's ownership destroyed KD. Yep, yep. We have to agree with that. We have to agree with. I have to agree with that. Good point, Jay. After 3-1, no, exactly, absolutely right. That's correct. Yep, that's big facts. Brian says, "Don't listen to." Oh wow, interesting. Was always on good teams. Kevin Durant called Kendrick Perkins a sellout, man. So basically, Dwight was asked about the season resuming, and he said, "What's been going on in the world? NBA players who don't have voices to speak up are afraid of intimidation." Because, like I said, LeBron and CP3 are both banana boat buddies. And like I said, respect to both players because they're both future Hall of Famers and they're all-time greats. But Chris Paul, Players Association, LeBron, cash cow, face of the NBA. Like you got to people got to put two and two together, man. Like it ain't just hate, bro. And like it is what it is. Okay, so let me get to the article about Kendrick Perkins. So remember, this is Kendrick Perkins' reaction to Kyrie Irving when he became vice president. I believe this was when Pau Gasol stepped down because I think he was the VP before that. If I'm wrong, one of you guys can correct me in the chat. So it says by now everybody, and again, smash the like and subscribe, and I'll be checking in with the chat. By now everyone knows former NBA big man and current ESPN analyst. Oh man, I said it already. Kendrick isn't the biggest fan of Brooklyn Nets point guard Kyrie Irving. Perk has ripped Irving a bunch of times on TV for how he handled his situation with the Celtics last year. Kyrie had told Celtics fans he was going to re-sign with Boston, but his mind changed during the season, and Uncle Drew wound up agreeing to a 4-year deal with the Nets in free agency. Irving was named NBPA vice president on Monday. This was back in February, and Perk is pretty happy he's not playing in the league right now. So Kendrick says he was asked by Anthony Puccio about Kyrie becoming VP. He said, "Who? I'm so glad I'm out the league. That's the blind leading the blind." That's out of Perk's mouth. Also, Perkins had called Kyrie Irving a quitter, a bad leader, and he was soft in the past. It doesn't appear he's ever going to be a fan of Kyrie moving forward. But again, why is he all saying this? Because you have to kind of ask yourself a question too. Do you think that Kendrick Perkins is saying that, or is a certain somebody telling Perk to say that about Kyrie? Because I'm kind of slow to think. I'm kind of slow to thinking that this might be a certain somebody telling Perk to say that about Kyrie. What do you guys think? Do you think that Perkins is the one calling Irving a quitter, bad leader, and soft, or is that somebody else? It doesn't appear he's ever going to be a fan of Kyrie, right? So the 2018-2019 Celtics lost to the Bucks in the second round, and I ain't gonna lie, Kyrie, he didn't perform well, and he low-key quit. He did quit. Perkins was critical of Irving's play and lack of leadership in the postseason. Now on the Nets, I remember Antoine Walker didn't call Kyrie a true Celtic. Paul Pierce even made his criticism on Kyrie. Irving is trying to lead his hometown team on a deep playoff run this season. Without the service of the two-time Finals MVP, Kevin Durant, who's going to miss the whole year recovering from his Achilles tear, you can bet as soon as the Nets falter in the playoffs, Perk will be the first one to comment on his failures. It's pretty clear that Perks just doesn't like Irving and probably never will. And this is a former teammate of Kyrie Irving. They were in Cleveland together, right? They were in Cleveland together. I believe, again, that the American people are, as a whole, capable of self-control and of learning by mistakes. All right. Right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Also feared by getting tossed off the team or traded. Dwight can't get traded because of a 1-year deal, right? But you can see other people's future in theirs, right? In their hands, right? Okay. It would be interesting if these NBA players wore a tattoo about a basketball reference. What do you mean by that? Because to me, this kind of low key sounds like that, because it's like if you listen, because I'm about to go next. Here we go. So this is what's going to happen next now. You know, I have to get to this dude next. Let me see if I could get him on board. Let me see if I can get him. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Do you guys remember this picture right here? I had put this earlier in my video, much earlier. Much earlier. Y'all know who that is jumping on the left, correct? You guys know who's jumping on the left side, right? The person jumping on the left, that's Bill Russell, correct? doing the triple jump in the 1956 Olympics. Kendrick Perkins has said that LeBron was the greatest athlete that he had ever seen, right? He's the greatest athlete of all time. Bill Russell, and this is what Kendrick Perkins was saying on Twitter. LeBron is a great athlete, one of the greatest athletes to ever grace an NBA court, ever. Here's the problem. Bill Russell, 86-year-old Bill Russell, went on Twitter. 86-year-old Bill Russell. We're talking about when we talk the Boston Celtics, that's the first name you mentioned, Bill Russell. You're talking about a man who was a social activist during the 60s, preaching, advocating for radical change when it comes to athletes, not just black athletes, but people of color. He came on Kendrick Perkins and answered him back by putting a video. No, first he put a picture of that triple jump that he did right there. And he said that he was the 7th ranked best athlete in the world. People don't know, but Bill Russell was a track and field star. He ran track and he did field. Also, Bill Russell there's a video on I believe the channel is Wilt Chamberlain Archive. Make sure you guys go check that out, and shout out to Wilt Chamberlain Archive because I've seen the video before. But there's a video and it's 11 seconds long, and you guys should go check it out, and you guys should go check out that channel. But Bill Russell dribbles the ball down the court, right? He dribbles down the court and he makes what's kind of like a Dr. J-esque layup, and he jumps from damn near the free throw line. When I saw that, I said, wow, Bill Russell was more athletic than I give him credit for. And Bill Russell said, if I wanted to, I could have competed in the Olympics, but I chose to play basketball. Kendrick Perkins saw that video. You know what Kendrick Perkins did? He went and apologized. And he said, oh, my bad, LeBron. So what he said was that, so when he said that, Kendrick Perkins had to apologize, and he says, oh, my bad, LeBron. He said, my bad. He said, but I got schooled and I got checked by the legend. The crazy part is Kendrick Perkins played for the Boston Celtics, and this is a Boston Celtic telling you that you need to stop and cut that crap. Bill Russell, the legend, checked Kendrick Perkins on that. And you know what's crazy? Bill Russell is not the only player that was one of the greatest athletes ever. How about Wilt Chamberlain? Have you seen the videos on Wilt Chamberlain? Some of the stuff that Wilt Chamberlain did? I'm going to try to see if I can find the clips. But I saw a couple of videos on Wilt Chamberlain. They were very short clips. But some of the things that I saw Wilt do, I mean, Wilt was a track and field star. Wilt played volleyball. He did so many things off the court. Like, you almost ask yourself, what couldn't Wilt Chamberlain do? He's arguably the greatest athlete to ever play a sport. And then we got Michael Jordan. Look what Michael Jordan did with his athleticism, with his vertical leap in the air. I mean, did people see the stuff that Michael Jordan did in the air? There's a reason they called him Air Jordan. Also, LeBron, to me, when it comes to athleticism, I kind of compare him to Dominique Wilkins, because did people see the stuff that Dominique did? Like, Dominique was a hell of an athlete. Like, when you talk about athleticism, Dominique, he doesn't get enough credit. What about Dr. J? What about Dr. J? I mean, when it comes to showmanship, the stuff that Dr. J could do, the stuff that Wilt Chamberlain can do, the stuff that Bill Russell could do. Hell, how about this? How about this? How about Vince Carter? When Vince was in his athletic prime, do you see the dunks that Vince Carter could pull off? I mean, I think about Deion Sanders, his ability to not only play football, but play baseball. Deion was crazy athletic. How about Bo Jackson, former running back for the LA Raiders, and he also played baseball for not only the Chicago White Sox, but the Kansas City Royals. I just mentioned a lot of athletes right there, man, that they did some of the things that I've never seen before. And Dennis Rodman, for somebody who had a late growth spurt, he was a pretty damn good athlete too. Yeah, Bo Jackson, exactly. So when Bill Russell showed him that and he talked about the 1956 Olympics, he checked Kendrick Perkins so bad that he had him apologizing. But you notice that he'll apologize to LeBron, but LeBron isn't going to respond to that tweet. And that's why I said that as great as LeBron is, he picks and chooses his tweets. He can be very cryptic. You can make the same case for Kyrie. And LeBron is very selective on his tweets. He's very selective. Again, great player, man. Check out Dr. J and check out his videos. Check out Will Chamberlain. Check out Bill Russell in terms of their athleticism. Check out Vince Carter. Check out Dominique Wilkins. Check out Deion Sanders. Check out Bo Jackson. Even David Thompson. He's another player that comes to mind. Like, there's a lot of these guys that were no slouch. Jackie Robinson. Thank you, Winona. Jackie Robinson played football. Jackie Robinson played. He did track as well. He was a track star. You know, a lot of these guys that could do some of these multiple things, man, it's crazy to me. Do people forget that cradle dunk that Dr. J did in the 1983 NBA Finals on the fast break against Michael Cooper? Like, all that scoop layup that he did in the NBA Finals in 1980. It takes a lot of hang time to pull that move off. And I'm saying, you know, athletic, man, it's crazy. Oh, I mean, yeah, listen, there's if you check out Vince's dunks, there's a YouTube channel called Vince Carter's Maximilian 100 Dunks. Yo, guys, go check that out and see the dunks that Vince Carter pulled off as a New Jersey Net and as a Toronto Raptor. I'm telling you, after you see those, you will have no question that Vince Carter is the greatest dunker of all time, like literally. And that's how athletic Vince Carter was, not just with his acrobatic layups, but Vince Carter's dunk package may be the best I've ever seen. Maybe the best I've ever seen. People always heard about how athletic Wilt was, but a lot of people don't know that Russell was a first class athlete in his own right. And there's a lot of players who have, done multiple things, in terms of athletes, man. Dr. J had big hands. He said, Jay says Deion Sanders could have played basketball too, man. He chose football and baseball. True. I forgot that he was a basketball star too. He was very good at basketball. So yeah, you guys are making all great points out here in the chat. Great, great points. Great points. Again, guys, smash the like, hit that subscribe for the Lewis Sports Network. Uh, he was playing college at Baylor. Yeah, Dr. J had big hands. Clyde was a good athlete too. Jesse Owens. Yeah. No, these guys are some great ones. Great. But the problem is the media is promoting it like he's the greatest. LeBron is one of the greatest athletes ever. Oh yeah, the coop dunk. Oh my God. I remember if you guys know baseball, I remember the Hall of Fame catcher, Mike Piazza, because he's from Philadelphia. And he idolized Dr. J growing up. And he talked about that dunk that Dr. J did in '83 against the Los Angeles Lakers. And he just said he was impressed by how he was able to rock. I remember the call, I believe it was by Chick Hearn. He said, "Here comes the doctor," and he says, "Rocks the baby to sleep with that slam dunk." It was a beautiful call by Chick Hearn. Beautiful call on that Dr. J dunk. Just awesome. Shout out to Corey in the building. He says, "Yo, man, appreciate you, Corey. How you been, man? Hope everything is good with you, bro." Again, smash the like button, hit that subscribe button for the Lewis Sports Network. So share this on your social media outlets. Corral says, did Tony Gonzalez play basketball in high school? You are absolutely correct. How do I know that? Because I saw A Football Life with Tony Gonzalez. I did see his NFL career. Great tight end for the Chiefs and for the Falcons. I never seen LeBron dunk from the free throw line. I mean, LeBron's got some good hand time when he does his like Statue of Liberty dunks, his rim mills. Kawhi Leonard played football just like LeBron. Yeah, Kawhi was a football player. His his other players. Here's another player. He may not have been. No doubt, Corey. Here's another player that I think about when it comes to athletes. Doesn't get talked about a lot. Antonio Gates, nice. Another guy. Do y'all remember Nate Robinson? Nate Robinson was a football player coming out of high school. He played running back. Um, he has a strong built body, but he chose basketball. And Nate is Nate is an athletic freak at what, 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", whatever, he's listed. Also, here's another athlete. Do people forget the answer? AI, Allen Iverson. He played football in high school. He would have been recruited to play football before that situation happened with Allen Iverson. He was being recruited around the country. Allen Iverson. Charlie Ward is another one. He played football. He was quarterback. So yeah, great job, man. Allen Robinson too. Yes, exactly. There's a lot of these guys that were multi athletes. Westbrook is pretty athletic. Aaron Gordon is crazy athletic. Now, when it comes to LeBron's career, absolutely. Oh, you meant Allen Iverson. Oh, okay, okay. Well, yeah, Russell Westbrook, pretty athletic, but some of these players have played multiple sports in their careers. You look at Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant plays soccer. Kobe Bryant was a soccer player when he was in Italy. When he was training and playing basketball, Kobe learned how to play soccer, and Kobe's got some good skills. Hakeem Olajuwon played soccer. Steve Nash played soccer, when he was a basketball player. Now, Steve Nash may not be athletic, but he also did another sport. Look at Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's not athletic, but Tim Duncan was a swimmer. Yeah, David Thompson. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I thought he was better at as a QB when he went to Florida State because his NBA career, I mean, he was okay. Yeah, Steve Nash. So a lot of these guys have done multiple sports. Some were just more athletic than others, but a lot of these guys were, multi athletes. Yeah, Dirk actually. Yeah, Dirk Nowitzki. Yeah, he played tennis. Something that Will Chamberlain did. Will Chamberlain also played tennis. And exactly, Steve Nash is from Canada. Yes. Jay says that soccer skills make basketball a lot easier. It's true. You can pick up the game a lot easier um, when you have soccer skills. I believe Dirk did play tennis. Yeah. So yeah, some of these guys may not be like more athletic than LeBron and all that, but it's like a lot of these guys were multi athletes. They were good in other sports. Um, but they only make it seem like if he could obviously do anything else. But like, it's not hate, but the fact that Kendrick Perkins is like, I've never seen somebody like LeBron. Okay, we get it, Perk. You're on the payroll. We get it. Man, this dude is preaching like if he's hoping this guy's gonna give him a bonus or something. Like, come on, dog. I believe Kareem also played other sports too. I believe so. So yeah, I mean, you look at the soccer skills. Look what it did for Hakeem. Charlie Ward has won and could have played pro basketball, football, and baseball. All three leagues wanted him. True. I forgot that Charlie Ward also played baseball. Here's another player. He's the current president of basketball operations for the Boston Celtics, Danny Ainge. Now, Danny Ainge may not have the career or the clout that a LeBron James has, but he was a tri-star athlete. He played football in high school and I believe in college. He played college basketball. He was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays for God's sakes and played third base for the Blue Jays. Re-entered the NBA draft and got drafted by the Boston Celtics. But Danny Ainge was a tri-star athlete too. Danny Ainge. Yeah, Kareem was into mixed martial arts. That's true. Yeah, Kareem was into kung fu. That's correct. That is correct. Kareem just had an interview about how his martial arts training with Bruce Lee helped his NBA career. It probably helped with his longevity. Karam says Tim Tebow, he's currently trying out for baseball. Karam says, what sport you can't stand watching? Um, with all due respect, there's golf. Uh, the only time that I watch soccer is in the World Cup, but I'm not a huge soccer fan. So there's that. But again, respect to all sports. It depends, man. To each his own. Uh, I'm not somebody who really watches tennis. I probably say that the one sport that I really can't stand watching, probably more than anything, is probably golf. Like, especially because it's an individual sport. But it really depends, man. Oh, Russell Wilson, right? Russell Wilson, because he was drafted by the Texas Rangers, and he was actually Matthew Stafford also was good at baseball. So, oh yeah, LeBron, yeah. You know what he gives him? He gives him one of them milk bones. So, like I said, man, Patrick Mahomes was a basketball player. Exactly. Exactly. And he chose football. Patrick Mahomes played basketball. Ron says Earl the Pro Monroe was a soccer star before he decided to dedicate himself to playing basketball. Okay. There's some things that, that you don't know that, now you know. I believe Tracy McGrady, if I'm not mistaken, played baseball um, because I know that he loves baseball. Or maybe it just could be the fact that he just enjoys the game of baseball, but I believe Tracy McGrady played baseball. I mean, just look at your boy Michael Jordan himself. He was a baseball player before he got into basketball, and he did play some football when he was young. I think he probably did it when in his middle school days, if I'm not, I believe. But yeah, Michael Jordan also, man. Or the pro. Look how many athletes we're mentioning. It's unbelievable. Like some of these guys are like really good at what they do. You know. So that's why when I continue to hear people say that, well, oh, Megatron, Calvin Johnson, man, I really wish he didn't retire, man. Maybe I didn't. Oh, no, 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 no. Ryan, I get it now. I get it now. I get it now. No, no, I see what you mean. That kind of flew by me, but I get what you mean. I get it now. I'm like, how did I let that fly by me? I got you, Ryan. And shout out to Ryan Powers in the building. He says Kyrie is going to retire within the next 5 years. I can see that happening, Ryan P, because Kyrie looks like he's not really interested in basketball just by some of the conversation that he talks about. I could just kind of tell that he's going to be done with basketball soon, especially if he doesn't win. Kyrie just comes from different. He just comes from different. He comes from different phases, man. Like when I hear him talk, like just for some of the stuff that he says, man, it's just kind of weird. But mm, interesting. Shout out to Simoko as always. The most action you see watching golf is those who raise the quiet please signs, man. Everybody I see watching golf have fallen asleep and missed the winner. It's true, man. Golf is probably, like I said, with all due to those people that play in the PGA Tour and the Masters, you know, and all that. Um, I'm sorry, but golf bores the heck out of me. Was the one he did against France? I mean, Vince Carter has some of the most beautiful windmill alley oops that I've seen from where he jumps. There was a dunk one time that I saw Vince Carter do against the Clippers. This was in Vince's second year in 2000. This was in March. This was at the Staples Center. And for those who don't know, the Clippers and the Lakers, they share the same arena, Staples Center, but Steve Ballmer just bought the Great Western Forum, so the Clippers will be moving soon. But it was a pass from D Brown on a fat. This was off of a miss. I think Charles Oakley got the rebound. He kicked it out to D Brown. Vince Carter I don't know how he caught that ball from that pass that D Brown threw him. He caught it and his head met the rim when he dunked the basketball. And I said that was one of the greatest dunks I've ever seen. There was another one on a fast break against the Milwaukee Bucks in that 2000 season. Vince scored 47 points. And I remember on a breakaway dunk, he did a windmill so effortlessly and he did it so fast. And his head met the rim. I was just like, yo. I said, Vince's athleticism is crazy. And I said, it's so crazy how creative he is with dunks in the in regular season games. It's crazy. I said, I don't know if there's ever going to be another like Vince Carter. I just in his prime. I miss my boy Megatron, man. Hopefully, my Detroit Lions can win a Super Bowl. Oh, for sure, man. I really wish that the Motor City would get an opportunity. And Ryan P says golf is cool. Okay. A ride is the language of the unheard. Martin Luther King Jr. Patriotism means to stand by your country. It does not mean to stand by the president. Mm. If you get hoarse yelling for, then you need to find a new hobby. Right? um, oh, hey, Lewis, it's random, but I couldn't stop thinking about what the dude said. Oh, the other day. Yeah. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I have no idea, man. I, 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 I had no idea what he was talking about. Hmm. And speaking of it, the beautiful Taylor Rooks. I'm sure you guys have heard of her if you guys haven't, but she probably has a stance of what Kyrie Irving was talking about. So there's a video coming out. I'm gonna have to check that Bleacher Report video out. Ryan says, would Larry Bird average 12 points in the NBA today? I'm gonna leave that to the chat. What do you guys think? Do you think Larry Bird would average 12 points today? Would he? Because Larry Bird has raved about this era of basketball. He's raved about it. The thing is, Ryan N. I don't even know what he was talking about because he couldn't see me in the. I had a thumbnail covering, so I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know. I guess it was just weird. I don't know. I'm a Kemba Walker fan, man. He's a good guy to root for. Oh, absolutely. Kendra. I said Kendra. I meant Kemba Walker. But see, Stephen A. ain't talking about the Black Brothers, but he can't even pronounce Kemba Walker's name right. He'd be like Kember. Who is Kem? Stephen A. Who is Kember? Who is Kember? Who is Kember Walker? Oh, Kawhi Leonard. What? Kawhi Leonard. What a clown Stephen A. is, man. He says he played in the wrong era. Bird says that due to the physicality. He loves competition, but he said due to the physicality, it's probably like he probably would have still been playing and he would have played a long time. That's what it is. Larry Bird just speaks it from a physicality standpoint. Yeah, that caught me off guard too. I didn't understand it. Yeah, man. So when Bill Russell checked Kendrick Perkins, I just couldn't stop laughing. Kendrick Buck Dancing Perkins got checked. The thing is, you would think that people would say, oh, he's entitled to his opinion. But you have to ask yourself, are you that naive to think that Kendrick Perkins is saying this out of his own mouth or somebody telling him to say that? That's the problem. Because he's come out and said that nobody owns me this and I'm not part of Clutch Sports and all that. I said, but Perk, you just snitched the code, bro. You said you ain't part of Clutch Sports. If you're not part of Clutch, you would have never said that I'm not part of no part of anything. You could have said that you was your own guy. It's so weird, man. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, he could. He could. He could. I think Bert averages 8 points a day. I mean, hey, that's facts. I mean, He had 8 points in an NBA Finals game. I mean, Larry Bird could definitely do it. Yeah, he could. 8 points right now. Yeah. Now, in his prime, that's 28 to 30 easy. Can't be 8. He would only shoot threes. Hmm. If I take prime Bird, 28. I got to see how Larry Bird's shot looking though at his age though. Yes, sir. Nikola Jokic can average 17 points. I think Larry Bird can too. Oh, there it is. All right, man. So getting back to this dude, Steve. Getting back to this dude right here, Kendrick Perkins, man. I don't know if Kendrick Perkins understands, but it's dudes like Perk and people in the media that are going to constantly get criticized, that are going to have his boy criticized. I don't know if he knows that. So again, Kyrie Irving is a weird cat. I don't know what his motives are. Now, if he can push NBA players to get this league started, the NBA would be in a lot of trouble because this would be something that they feared because now a lot of white owners would not be owning anything. But then you have to then ask yourself this. Ask yourself, let me ask you a question, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, Ryan, that's some pretty good numbers. Ryan P. I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. I can see him doing that. That's big facts, Ryan. Ryan P. I'll say Ryan and then Ryan P to not confuse it. Oh yeah, Jay. He averaged over 30. Let me ask y'all this question. What do you think that means for Michael Jordan if he can't own an NBA team anymore and all these players were to start their own league if they had the proper funding? What do you guys think in the comment section? Let me know what you guys think. If the NBA players decide, if the NBA players decide to start their own league and, get the funding done, what would that mean for a guy like Michael Jordan since he's the only black owner in the NBA? Now, I know that Michael is rich, he owns a team, but I wonder, would he go with the would he go with those players to go start a new league and be part of that new league? Or would he be upset about it? Yeah, Kendrick's new name should be Kendrick Jerkins. That's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, MJ shoes would still be rocking, but I'm asking you, would he still want to own an NBA team and side with with the players and be part of their black-owned league? Since I mean, a lot of numbers have been going 70%, 75%, 90% of the NBA players are, black. MJ is owning a small market right now with the Charlotte Hornets, and you think that he would own a small market because he makes a lot of money. True, true, true. And if I know Michael, if he was to still be an owner of a team, he would be doing his North Carolina. He'd be supporting North Carolina. But man, Kendrick Perkins, Winetta says Lewis, that's what I'm thinking, but I think he would side with the players because he's about black wealth. And I'm gonna say this again, people need to understand that Jordan has hired more and the Jordan brand have got more black entrepreneurs in the Jordan brand. They have a lot of black entrepreneurs in there. So you can call MJ a sellout, in the time that he played in the NBA because he was about his basketball career and not really about politics or not about, social issues that went on. So you could talk about that because I've already said that in many videos. But I've seen him also uplift people too. But the key thing is you have to think, are you about money and prosperity or are you worried about respect? That's a Hey, Anthony L, that's a good point. Let me just go through the rest of the comments. Raduni said, if MJ don't give a damn, then why should he be worried? That was a good point, Raduni, because it's like if you're not afraid of what people think about you, but again, MJ was just too image conscious. He was too image conscious because remember, Raduni, he had so many sponsors. If he was to go against what the sponsors were about in terms of promoting him, there would have been a lot of controversy. And the media, who could not stand Jordan being at the top, they would have loved stuff like this. They would have loved it. That's why Michael has repeatedly said that he would not play in today's NBA because of how the social media is now. So just imagine when it comes to Michael's basketball skills, he'd be the number one. He'd be the number one topic. But then also, if Michael got in trouble, he'd be the number one topic of all negative criticism and all the issues that surround him in terms of his life, not just basketball reasons, but personal reasons, as on and off the court. He would stay because of loyalty. That's interesting. Team, you think Kyrie should link up with Ice Cube to get something going? Hey, Ice Cube is the listen, he owns the big three, doesn't he? It's been pretty successful. With what's going on, unfortunately, big three's not happening right now. But because usually the big three would be starting right now in June, correct? Yeah. But that would be a good idea. If they're really for pushing forward this league, I would love to see some hip hop stars really push this. And also, we could probably get more black head coaches. We could probably get more black owners. But again, this is what society fears, ladies and gentlemen. I keep saying that. Sure. Yeah, definitely. He definitely do. Oh, I agree, Anthony L. Then other people will say that they're being greedy. And I'm like, I can't say that because that's why I think that this situation is going to be very interesting to see. MJ would be a villain now. I think in terms of basketball, he would be praised, but in terms of social issues and stuff like that and speaking out, yeah, he would be a villain. I agree with you, Tazon. I agree, he would be a villain. Kyrie said he never said that though. As a matter of fact, a current teammate, I think his name is Theo Pinson, he came out and said that Kyrie didn't say those things. So, like I said, I'm wondering who are the people behind closed doors saying that's my thing. Who, if Kyrie didn't say this, who are the people hiding behind closed doors saying this? And you have to ask yourself again, why didn't Chris Paul speak out on this? Because I'm gonna say it again, he has a conflict of interest with LeBron James. They're banana boat buddies. I've said this already. This ain't got nothing to do with hate or anything like that. We're just talking about business. We're talking business. We're just talking about business. Um, Ron says the sponsor give players them big contracts for a reason. Exactly. No, 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 because Big Three has a coalition with the ooh. That's a good point, Raduni. That's a very good point. Because remember, that connects former NBA players who used to play. There's some players who were blackballed out of the league, but they're playing in the big three. You look at Mahmoud Rauf. He's playing and that's a good point, Raduni. I didn't even think about that. That's a very good point. Mahmoud Rauf was one of those players that got blackballed by the league. And yeah, he's playing in the big three, but that's a great point, and I never thought about that. That's true. The big three does have a coalition with the NBA. Anthony L says that he wouldn't work with LeVar Ball though because he's already shown himself to be untrustworthy after allowing his business partner to steal millions from his own son. I've had a lot of controversy with LeVar Ball when it comes to his career. I'm not saying that he's not an intelligent person because he is, but I said that when it comes to him, he's kind of untrustworthy. Because sometimes when I hear LeVar Ball, it always sometimes sounds like he kind of lives off of his sons to act like if they owe him, and it's like you shouldn't treat your kids like that. Now, if your kids they want to treat you like if they don't appreciate you, that's a different story. And listen, all of LeVar's kids, they love him. They appreciate what he did. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of people that wish that would that would have LeVar vouch for his kids that the way he does. And I got to give LeVar a lot of credit for that. And as a father, I got to respect him for that. I respect him for that. As a black man, I give him a lot of credit. But I know that he can be. I know that he is there for entertainment. He is there to create controversy. Because if you really think about it, LeVar also he can make bucks too, especially when you get him on TV. Cube will be looking to change things in the 3-on-3 league. Hmm. Oh yeah, they do. They do. And the problem is, until they realize that, that's why we're always going to be pinning against one another. That's why when I hear that the ones that are, the funny is the ones that speak out against blacks on the platform when it comes to these athletes, you're really disrespecting your own kind, but then you come out and say my brother. But it's very selective, man. Kawhi hasn't spoke out about anything. He's letting others do the talking, and I don't know if I like that, especially him saying he's the king of LA. You know what's crazy, man? That's a good point, Winetta, because Kawhi is one of those people that he really doesn't speak because he's not on social media, but it's like you're doing commercials. So you know that that's part of the media when you get marketed and you're working with a sponsorship and you call yourself the king of LA, you just do it in quiet manners. But the thing is, Kawhi's not a talker. But it's like, if Kawhi's not a talker, then why did he talk on the commercial? I don't get it, man. He didn't even say a lot, but still. Yep. LeVar is just a hilarious dude. Oh, yeah. Yep. Obviously, CP3 is being instructed not to speak out by somebody high up. Yep. And LeVar be pimping his kids for that's my thing. It's not that I'm trying to hate on him saying that he's not doing for his kids. But if you look at the way that LeVar operates, that's the issue. A lot of dudes were criticizing me. They went crazy. They flipped out and they were just saying like, "Oh, you're hating on a black man, this and that. You don't know what it's like to this and that." You guys really need to wake up and pay attention. You guys look at the entertainment side so much, and when these guys speak, that it's just we just take it like that, and it's like, oh, what they're saying is, yo, if you really understand the game, you would really understand how these people operate, man. It's again, I keep telling y'all, which agenda gets pushed the most. That's what it is. So Kendrick Perkins, stop the capping, bro. Yeah, that's true. I agree with that, Raduni. He does. Yeah, it's good because he does have a mind of business. He does have leadership. Yeah, it's not always conventional. I agree with you there. That's a good point. Yeah, Levar does present leadership. He is a businessman, true. He is about his business, and I got to give him a lot of credit for that at the end of the day. So much respect to LeVar for that, despite what you want to think. Kawhi never had the personality of speaking out like that. At least he's consistent with that. The commercial is just a part of what you got to do with those endorsements. That's a fair point. That's fair. Oh, absolutely, Tazone. We know that. Remember what Kendrick Perkins said. It's in good hands because we got Adam Silver. But we have to also remember what's down there. If we understand that what's down there, look what's shooting up. If people really want to understand that, something is really shooting up, right? So getting back, so getting back to my man Captain Jack, Steven Jackson. There's people who are going to be conflicted and believe that Steven Jackson doesn't know what he's talking about, and Steven Jackson, he's full of it when he's supporting Kyrie, talking about that he's crying to him every time. Again, we don't know the full details. We don't know the full details, right? So let me get to this last article before I shut down the stream. And again, shout out to everybody who has come here and show the Lewis Sports Network support, and appreciate you guys talking about this. But check this out. It says Kendrick Perkins dares Kyrie Irving to retire from the NBA and dedicate his life to social justice. This is what Perk said. Retired NBA champion Kendrick Perkins is fed up with Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie. Really? So you mean to tell me that we're not fed up with the bull job that you've been pushing on the so-called network that you've been on? Yeah. So Perkins called out the 28-year-old for his recent comments on potentially curtailing the 2019-2020 season during an episode on Monday. Kendrick says Kyrie talking about he's willing to give it all up. Don't be willing, do it. Retire today and take this on full time. Then Kyrie, Maya Moore walked away from the game of basketball and took action in something that she believed in. Wow, Kendrick. And then I read another statement that Kyrie made saying he's willing to give it up all. Perkins said, don't be willing. This ain't the time to be willing. Do it. No. Maya Moore, she wasn't willing. She did it. She walked away from the game of basketball and took this on full time. So, Kyrie, this ain't the time to be talking about, oh, I'm willing to do it. No, if you're going to make a stance, do it or don't talk about it. Irving, a vice president of the National Basketball Players Association, is hesitant about resuming the 2019-2020 season due to health concerns, as well as recent racial disturbances. The former Cleveland Cavaliers superstar has a point. After all, numerous players in the league, you know, contacted, got sick, in March. In addition, race conversations are at an all-time high, which may dwindle when the league resumes action. Still, Perkins isn't sold on his former teammates' attitude. Like, Perk, who's really sold on when you talk? The sheep that fall for it. As a matter of fact, this isn't the first time Perkins has been critical of the NBA champion. He also insulted Irving for being named vice president earlier this year, like I talked to you about. So the season, once again, is expected to start on July 30th, right? Oh, no, no. I feel you, Tazo. I know. To a certain degree, listen, Earl, to a certain degree, I agree with Perk, but that guy's a damn clown. He's a clown. I agree with it. To a certain extent, I kind of question Kyrie's motive again, but we're going to have to wait and see what happens, though. That's why I said that I don't feel like Adam Silver, people are giving him all this praise and all that, and he's like this great commissioner, but I feel like Adam is pushing a lot of agendas, man. Just look at it this way. With all due respect to the women that are in the WNBA and stuff, he's been pushing for women head coaches to be in the NBA. It doesn't become the NBA anymore if there are women head coaches in the league. Again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to women about that, but I'm sorry. It's like it doesn't become because the National Basketball Association is about men's basketball. But now that you're pushing women into it, it's like it becomes something different. And it's like, and again, with all due respect to the women, again, because like I said, the women basketball players, they can ball. They can ball. I've seen some of these people play. Listen, I enjoyed watching Sue Bird play. I enjoyed watching Cheryl Swoops play. I enjoyed watching Cynthia Cooper play. So I already know. Um, Anthony L says, "What did Perk do all weekend, man? He rehearsing all these lines that were fed to him." I feel, like I said, I still don't give Kawhi a pass. True, I don't have to be the media to speak. That's true. Hmm. Interesting. It was right. Yeah, Perk be tripping, but he on point about this one. Like I said, to a certain degree, I agree with him. I agree with him. I wonder if he was going to be able to reach CP3. I wonder though. That's why I said that there's some funny. When Kyrie says there's something fishy, he absolutely right. There's just something fishy about this whole situation going on, man. Something's real fishy, and it's from both parties, from the LeBron side with Kendrick Perkins to even Kyrie's side. It's just real fishy, man. It's just real, real, real fishy. And this is why I continue to say whose agenda is really being pushed out more because at the end of the day, both Kyrie and LeBron are both Nike Monarch athletes. Say that again, Nike Monarch athletes. And I also could agree with that too. I could look at both sides. Well, in this case, it's a topic. That's probably what it is. That that's also true too. Men do coach female sports, so it's bound to happen. It's kind of, I don't know. It's just kind of weird, how I feel about it, I guess. But like I said, I don't mean to say that with disrespect. Um, um, like I said, I respect the women. Like I said, I've seen them play. Like I've seen Tina Thompson, Lisa Leslie, Katie Smith. Like I know a lot of NBA, WNBA players that have played that I have a lot of respect for. Maya Moore, Simone Augustus, a lot of them. If the media wants to know how Kawhi feels about it, they know where to find him. I'm sure he wouldn't mind speaking his mind about it, but he's not a Twitter guy though, so he does things behind the scenes. As they would say with a la MJ. You know what I'm saying? They would say that. You know. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm gonna put an end to this stream. I want to thank everybody for coming through and taking the time to speak with me on the Lewis Sports Network. I would love to talk about it more, but I want to make sure that I'm on time before this little video happens to get shut down if there's any type of controversy that I spoke on in the video. So again, shout out to everybody that pulled up on this video. I'm actually coming up in a little bit and I'm going to be talking about WWE Backlash Wrestling. But again, I appreciate everybody taking the time to watch my videos. And if you guys can, make sure, ladies and gentlemen, to make sure go share this on your social media outlets and make sure to share this on Reddit if you guys can. And again, I truly appreciate you guys. And before I go, shout out to everybody in the chat. You guys are great. You guys ask great questions. You guys make great points. And again, at the end of the day, I can see both sides from it. But I'm pretty sure somebody who didn't listen to the entire live stream is going to nitpick on a certain part that they don't agree with and they come or whatever. But again, it's whatever. Be more than bothered. Um, Kawhi has a big voice, man. Kawhi can come off as selfish sometimes, and nobody checks him on that. To a degree, I agree with that. It's true. Kawhi be quiet as kept when it comes to his moves, man. The whole Kyrie LeBron thing is just to create drama and confusion. Oh, I agree with that. That's why I said to me that it's kind of fishy. And again, it gives these sports networks more topics to talk about. So you gotta kind of wonder who's saying what and who's really creating this controversy. All right, till next time. Hurricane most you ain't lying. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, appreciate all of you. Love all of you. Blessings to everybody. Stay safe. And before I go again, let me just look at this last comment. I could give Kawhi the benefit of the doubt. He hasn't given me any reason for me to label him as a sellout, even though he is silent. He's just a quiet guy. Again, if you guys come on back, I'm coming back with a wrestling video. If you guys will pull up for that, just hit the like for that one. But again, from the Lewis Sports Network, great topic, you guys. Great job speaking. Appreciate you guys. As always, bless up, live, laugh, love. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe on this on the social media outlets. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Have a wonderful night. And again, for those of you who are wrestling fans, pull up to my wrestling video coming up in just a few short in about 15 to 20 minutes. All right. So take a break. Take care, everybody. Yo, true. Hubie Brown is one of the best on that one. Appreciate that, man. Take care, guys.